Hey y'all, this is Kim with Creative Escapades. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm so excited that you joined me today, and I'm excited to show you what I'm going to be making. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the video. So my project today is going to be this 30-ounce skinny tumbler. I've already prepped it with some white spray paint, and this is going to be a fun project. And it's a little bit of a long video, but I'm doing more than one thing on this. So if you don't want to watch every single bit of it, skip around in the video and watch what I make out of this. The first thing I'm going to do is get some tape onto my cup in a slanted direction, because what I want to do with this is to make it look like a candy cane. So I'm taping off the cup in a slant, and this will be the first piece, and I'm doing this a little bit slow so that you can watch how you can get exact measurements in between your stripes. So there's my first piece, and then I'm going to take the second piece of tape and I'm going to place it right up against the first one. I'm going to speed the video up just a little bit so that you can watch, but you just make sure your edge is right up against the edge of the first piece of tape on your cup. Do your third piece and make sure that it is exactly up, and then pull off the second one so you have a perfect measurement in between your stripes. And then you just use that piece that you pulled off, and it's actually your placer tape to hold the place until you get your next stripe on. So now what I want to do is take it and spray paint it red, and then I'm going to use this diamond liquid or diamond glaze, and it's a really good adhesive. It dries really fast. It's a little bit faster than the tack it method, and I'm just smoothing it on to the surface of the cup where there are no tape stripes. So it's going directly onto the tumbler itself. And then I'm going to use this glitter fetish, and I'll put the links to everything that I'm using in the description box below. But this is called Sin, and it is a holographic chunky mix, and it is a beautiful red glitter. I love it. So, and I'm just going to sprinkle the glitter onto the area where I have the liquid diamond glaze at, and then brush off the excess, and then just keep going around the cup, putting the diamond glaze down and then sprinkling it with the glitter. Make sure you have a smooth coat on there and that you get it right up to the edges of the pieces of tape, because you're going to pull that tape off so you can get those perfect lines. So I'm working it half of the stripe at a time. That way my diamond glaze doesn't dry before I get the glitter on there. Make sure it's smooth. Finish the bottom, and then we'll go all the way around the cup like that. Just brushing off the excess. I'm pushing the glitter down into the diamond glaze as I go too, make sure that it is stuck on there really good. And now I'm going to work on the bottom. I put the tape all the way to the center so that I can get that peppermint candy look to it. I'm going to pull these bottom pieces off, and I'm pulling this first strip off so you can get a look at what it's going to be like. There. And then I'm going to work a little bit more on the bottom after I get all of the tape off and make it look more uniformed and more like a piece of peppermint candy down there on the bottom. So I'm going to start pulling the tape off. And you see how nice and neat those stripes are? Looks like a peppermint stick. And that was what I was after. And any little pieces of glitter that goes over the edge of the line, I just clean them off. Then I'm just going to work on the bottom. I put a little bit of the diamond glaze in the center there, and that is where the round little indentation of the cup is, and sprinkle a little bit more glitter down there, and then I'm going to make the stripes a little bit wider so that they resemble more of the peppermint striped candy. It's looking better. I like it. Touch it up just a little bit, and then it will be ready for a clear coat and then its first layer of resin. So now here's where the fun part comes in. So I am using this spackling, and this is lightweight spackling. This little can our little plastic tub feels empty, pretty much. It's so lightweight. And you use this to make the faux whipped cream topping for your cup. I've got my piping bag with a star tip on it. I got my spatula, and this I made earlier so that it would kind of help me build up the center. So I'm going to glue that onto the cup lid, and I'm just using the diamond glaze again because it is an adhesive. And I got me a little cup here to mix up my spackling, and I'm using this Amsterdam titanium white acrylic paint to just give it just that little more white look. And so the first thing I'm going to do is attach this piece that I made for the center for my build-up. And this does have the sliding lid on it, so it's not as flat as I'd like for it to be, but this is the lid that came with the cup. So now I'm just going to take some of the spackling and put it in there, and you just use just a very little bit of the white paint, not much at all, just a little squirt of it, and then mix, and you mix, and you mix, and you mix. And you're trying to get this smooth, and it's not really all that chalky looking, but you want it to get that blended look, and you want to make sure that white paint is all mixed in there. And now I'm ready to put it in my piping bag. I'm going to put the piping bag inside a cup, pull it down so that I have an opening. I'm going to use my little spatula, and I'm going to take all of the spackling and put it into the piping bag. just like that. And then pull the piping bag up, straighten it up, and then move all of the spackling down towards the tip. Twist the bag till it starts coming out, and then you just start piping around that center piece that I put on there, and I'm kind of going up and around where the straw goes because I want to leave that as clear as I can, but I don't want to make it look too obvious. So go all the way up, and you're just going all the way around and keep building up until you have enough on there that you feel that it's tall enough. And then I want to make sure that it covers the edge of the lid without going over. And then I'm going to use the straw and make the place for the straw, and then I'm just going to straighten that out a little bit so that it looks smooth. Just like that. And now I made these little pieces of faux candy, and I used the spackling, and what I made was chocolate chips, marshmallows, and the peppermint pieces. And all I did was for the chocolate chips, I used a round tip and just squirted it out. I pushed it down and pulled it up to have that little curlicue chocolate chip look. And then for the marshmallows, I just made little short squirts of the spackling using the round. And then when they were close to drying, I rolled them up and then shaped them into the marshmallow. And for the peppermints, I just put little splotches of spackling, and then when they got close to being dry, I mashed them flat, and then when they were completely dried, I sanded the edges, and then I painted them. Painted the marshmallows white. I painted the chocolate chips with burnt umber, and then of course I used red on the peppermints. And I'm just placing them onto the soft surface of the spackling. It's nowhere near dry. And then I have some red, white, and green sprinkles. So I'm going to put those on there. Just going to sprinkle them, and then some of them fall off, so you just pick them up, put them in there, and you just gently push them into the spackling. And just going all over, getting them down in the little curly edges that was made by the tip. Finding any place that might just need to have a little bit of decoration. And it's looking cute as it can be. So I'm going to let it dry. And then I'm going to also add just a sprinkle of white glitter on here, just to make it sparkle a little bit more. Not too much. And I'm using this Spin-It brand white. Okay, and it is ready now for me to put resin on it. And the reason you want to coat this with resin is because you do not want your spackling to get wet at all. So I'm going to tape the edges. I took off the little gasket that goes around the cup, the lid that goes down inside the cup. And I'm using electrical tape, and I'm just going to tape right along the edge of the lip of the cup, and I want to get it even all the way around. And I like to use electrical tape for anything like this because you can stretch that electrical tape and make it go where you want it to go. It works better than the painter's tape. And I'm putting it all around the edge, and then I'm going to put a second layer and let it go over the edge of the plastic part of the cup that goes lid that goes down inside the cup, so that if I do get any drips, it won't get onto that plastic lid. And I'm also going to roll up a little piece and put it right here where the straw goes, so that that part is protected too. And then I'm going to mix my resin, and I'm using Faux, which is a 1:1 ratio, and I used 5 milliliters, and I have this rubber tip or silicone tipped brush, and I am just taking a little bit onto the tip of the brush, and I am poking it down into every crack and crevice, every little ruffle, any little hole that might have been left by the way the tip curled the spackling. You will make sure everything is covered. You don't want any chance of water getting on there and messing up your spackling. So now it is all covered, and I'm going to let this cure, and then we're going to work on the cup again. So we're ready now to put on our decal, and I printed this decal off on clear Waterslide, and then I sprayed it 3 different times with light coats of clear matte sealer, and then I let it set and dry. And once I put this on here, you're going to see that it's going to be transparent with that glitter beneath it. I want to pull the water slide towards the bottom because I am going to do the chocolate drips on this. But I'm also going to put glitter onto the decal. And this is such a cute little decal. It says on Dasher, on Dancer, on MasterCard, and Visa. It's the perfect saying for Christmas. So I'm going to use a, once this dries, I'm going to make sure that it's on my cup really good. I'm going to use a very fine glitter that has, it's called Emerald actually. It has a little bit of gold in it. And I'm going to use the liquid diamonds again. And I'm just going to use my rubber tip brush, and I'm going to paint over the green parts of the design or the letters, and then sprinkle the glitter onto there. And this is the emerald green. Got it at Walmart. It's a real pretty color. And I also decided, I'm going to put me a catch paper down here first. Also decided, you'll see me start with the green, but I come back and I add just gold to any of the little design elements, like this right here, this little star. I started out with it with green, and then I thought it was just too much green, so I come back and added gold onto all the little design areas. And I'm just trying to get it only onto the green part of the decal so that that little black outline is still there. And if you have your light down low enough, you can see when you have enough of the diamond glaze on there to cover your letter. Making sure that it doesn't get too blurred. And then I come back with a just a dry brush and clean off the excess. So there it is, it's all done. You can see where I added the gold to all the little design elements, the little swirls and the little stars. So it kind of made it pop more right there. I like that. So we're ready now to put on a layer of resin, and then I'm ready to do my chocolate drip. I didn't video putting the resin on the cup because this video is already long enough. So you can see how cute that lid is going to look on there, but I want to make the chocolate drips. So I have the Faux Rizzle again, and to make your drips, you have to get your resin almost to the point that it's curing. And I'm using this Golden Autumn luster powder because it's a beautiful, beautiful, kind of a reddish brown, but it has such a beautiful shimmer to it. And I'm going to add some of the burnt umber to this to darken it as well. So just a little squirt. And I started off with that little squirt, and I added 2 more after that because I wanted to make sure that I got it to the color of chocolate that I wanted. I wanted it to look fudgy. So I'm going to just mix this up really good, and you can see it's starting to get thick, and you can see that delicious brown fudge look. And so the first thing I did was I just swirled some of it around my whipped cream topper. And I just kept going around the same place until I got enough on there so that it looked like chocolate fudge had been squirted on there. And then for the cup, I'm just wiping it around the top of the edge, and you can see how thick it is. It's not running down at all. But in some places I'm making it a little bit thicker. And then I'm going to use my heat gun to warm that up just enough to make it start running down the cup so that it looks like chocolate drips. And I'm placing the drips where I want them to be so that when I do hit them with that heat gun and they start running down, that it doesn't cover up my decal, and that I get different lengths of drips. Some will go further down, some will be thicker, some will be thinner, some will be short, but it gives you that control when your resin is thicker. And it's almost to that curing point. It gets a little stringy, especially with as much of the acrylic paint that I put in there for the burnt umber. But just swirl it around your stick and then make your stick do the work for you. Just swipe it on there. You're gonna think, oh my god, this looks terrible. But once you hit it with that heat, it's gonna soften it up just enough for it to smooth out and for you to get that really nice chocolatey drip look. I would turn my cup sideways so you could see it while I'm doing it, but then my drips would run sideways, and I don't want them to run sideways. If they run down too far, you can just turn your cup upside down, let them run back towards the top, like that, and that will stop the drip from going down further. Okay, I'm fixing to show you the finished project. I did put another layer of resin on this, just so everything was nice and smooth. And here it is, all finished. It's all nice and glittery and fun. That faux topping is so cute. And the chocolate drips. These kind of cups are just so much fun to make. I enjoy them so much. And here's the bottom. Kind of has that peppermint candy look. I think it turned out great. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I know it's been long, but I hope it's been worth your time watching. And I want you to know that I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do that now. Click that bell next to it, and you'll receive notifications when I upload future videos. Please click like and share. All that stuff helps my channel grow, and I'm so thankful when you do that. It really helps me out. And the description of everything that I used will be listed below in the description box. The links to my Etsy store will be down there. All my social media, go check those out. All that helps me, and I want to thank you. So if you have any comments, let me know what you think about this cup. I have some more ideas that I want to do using the faux topping that won't be Christmassy, so stay tuned for those. I want to thank you for joining me for this escapade, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye bye for now.